Medical disclaimer. This video is for informational purposes. It does not replace the medical advice of a trained doctor. Seek medical advice before beginning any treatment plan. Years ago, I always said I'd do this, so let's do this, shall we? 18.9. Taking correction. Still up there. I did tape these back to back, so the numbers are still going to be pretty similar. But today, I want to discuss my lows. Not my low, but my lows. How they affect me. My first video I ever did on this channel was me by an elevator having a low blood sugar. And how we had to deal with it, and how I had to deal, not we. But by lows, the first symptoms I had for when I was going low was my heart. I could feel every single beat of my heart. I could hear the thump, 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 thump. And I would get the shakes. After the first year, the shakes kind of disappeared. Very rarely do I get the shakes anymore. I still get the thump, 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 thump. The worst sort of low symptom I ever had was double vision. Oh, I couldn't stand double vision. And I would end up having to go like this. I can remember for the company I worked for, I had to be an expert witness, I guess you call it. And I sat down and I had to read a letter. And I'm sitting there doing this. I'm sure the guy thought, okay, yeah, this guy's a real winner. But keeping your lows to the low part, where the minute you identify, you have it. I started to really get a low that was so bad, was this hand would go numb. And then I knew immediately after that, the aura came. And then the pain started. The last migraine medication I had was sort of like it relieved the pain. But I was out of it. I was asleep after. Coupled with, this really isn't a symptom of being low, but the after for me, I would pass out. But I could always have headaches for low blood sugars. But when I was low, this bugged the hell out of me. It was kind of like, oh, I know. I went to lunch with my dad, and I was to get in the train, and the train came, and I started to drive away, and my hand went numb. And I can remember sitting at my meal and going, can I just make it through this meal? It was nothing with him. It was just, I got back on the SkyTrain and I made it to the stop just before the stop had to get off at. And let's just say I redecorated the SkyTrain car everywhere. I went home, I got my clothes off, got a wash going, and then laid down and just totally I wanted to solve it. And it takes about 8 hours for me. I don't know if this is common, but for me, a trigger for a migraine can be a low blood sugar. But we progressed on. So I've had tingling in the mouth, like your mouth is frozen. You can't really speak. Your whole thought process is completely out to lunch. It was, oh, if I just do this, I can then go get something to eat. And there was always something else. You have to learn to stop, deal with your low, because whatever is going to be around is still going to be thereafter. Now, I don't know what is actually worse, my migraine headaches or hypoglycemia unaware. Hypoglycemia unaware comes on a diabetic, usually a type 1, who keeps their blood sugar way, way too low. And I didn't even realize I was doing that. You just don't feel anything. You are completely out to lunch about any symptoms. People have said they're able to tell that I go low by one of two things. Actually, one thing. Sorry, the other one's a high. But I start slurring my words. Just on a side, a high for me is my eyes kind of go. I'm kind of like, oh, I just gotta go to bed. Always have sugar on you. I learned this during my first year. My dad and I were going downtown. My mom said, oh, do you have something sweet? And I said, oh, no, but I have money. That didn't come to play the truth until years later when I was having a migraine and having a low. I wanted to get a bottle of Coke and was kicked out of the store because I was stumbling. The guy thought I was drunk or high or something. I was high on insulin. But you need to deal with them quickly. A lot of what happened were in the years I call my dark ages. I'd given up on my doctor after he yelled at me for something I wasn't doing, to when I got my new endocrinologist. Those years were the dark ages for me. And, sorry, she goes. So I probably was going low most of the time. I would end up in the hospital a couple of times. Sometimes for me, sometimes I didn't know what was going on. And a lot of this is the hypoglycemia and awareness sneaks up on you. It's not like one day you wake up, oh, I don't have any sensation. You lose the sensation of hypoglycemia very quickly. So if you get a low blood sugar and starting to feel, don't do what I did. Don't push it off saying, well, if I just wash the kitchen floor, then I can eat and relax. I got to get this done now. People will understand. You need to be easy on yourself. If your blood sugar is low, and type 1s will always have the chance of going low. Don't let it carry on because it could get hypoglycemia unawareness. At least with the migraine headache, I knew I was dropping. Hypoglycemia unawareness, you don't know what's going on. Myself now, I won't know I'm low until I really start to feel I'm low. And then I'm passed out. It happens that quick. Boom. Don't take medication unless you're ready to eat. Eat what you're supposed to eat. Learn how to count carbs. Do whatever you can to ensure that you are not going to have a low. And if you have a low, treat it, take care of it. Talks amongst yourselves. Have a great day. Talk later. Bye now. My email is mikesdiabetesworld@gmail.com. mikesdiabetesworld@gmail.com.